Hi everyone, I'm Archana and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be a June wrap up of all the books I read in June, the series and movies I watched in June, and some small updates from whatever happened this whole month. So with this and also the best part of this video is that I'm going to be giving you a complete review of the book that I just finished yesterday. It's called I Hear You by Nidhi Upadhyay. So if you're familiar with my channel, you would have already watched my other video based on her book, her first book, that is That Night. And if not, I'll just link that in the description box so that you can watch it after this video. So with that, let's start off with the video. So the entire month of June, I felt sick a lot of times, so I couldn't do much. But then I still managed to read about 2 books. The first one is called Afternoon Tea at the Sunflower Cafe, a review of which I have already posted on my channel. I'll link that as well in the description box below. It's a book by Millie Johnson. It's about a story of women who come together, empower each other. It's a very beautiful story. It's an easy read. A very nice book, a feel-good sort of a book. So that's the book that I started off June with, and you should definitely read that one. I would give it like a 5-star rating. And after that, I couldn't read books much, and then I recently started off with I Hear You. And this is a thriller. It's a psychological thriller. So the book that I read, I Hear You, I have that right here. The cover page itself, looks a little creepy. It has a cradle, kind of looks empty, like in a dilapidated room or something like that, and there are blood stains here and there. The cover itself was good. So the story is based in Singapore. Mahika is pregnant with Rudra, and after having miscarriages previously, this is like a successful pregnancy. But soon she realizes that the fetus is a genetically altered fetus, and she had no idea about it until she overheard a conversation of her husband with an anonymous person in the room saying, "You will have the first right to the baby." So obviously Mahika was shocked, and Mahika wanted to escape from that life. But then Mahika could not escape without the help of someone, right? She was in Singapore. She had no one other than her husband, who has apparently altered the fetus of the baby genetically. So the story is about how Shivam is very detail oriented, and he kind of has a complete control over her life, and Mahika is someone who's trying to figure out what needs to be done, especially considering that the fetus is now probably genetically altered. And to add fuel to the fire, she starts receiving anonymous notes from someone who knows the kind of situation she is in. Not just that, as Shivam also has been receiving anonymous notes. So in addition to that, Mahika is also stuck in an abusive marriage. So the thing is, when people are in an abusive marriage, they don't really, most of them don't even realize that they are in an abusive marriage. So she's kind of caught between moments where Shivam actually showers his love for her, and there are also times when he's very cold-hearted towards her. So she's also kind of torn apart there, but then she ultimately wants to save her son, her unborn son Rudra, and which is why we are going to be finding out if Mahika is going to try and escape from this life, or if she is going to succumb to the pressure. There are a lot of unknown forces here that are at play, and I personally felt that the book is very well connected. So that whatever builds the suspense has an answer in the end. The book is very well thought out. I also found parts of it a little disturbing, but then in a good way, because like all good thrillers, they leave a lasting impression on you, right? It still lingers in you even days after you finish reading or watching a movie. So that's the kind of feeling you have after you read this book. So the synopsis of this book interests you, I would definitely recommend you to read this book because it is a very unique thriller. And so with this, we finished the section of books, and now let's move on to the series and movies that I watched. So movies wise, I watched 2 movies this month. One was Nane Varigiren. It's a Tamil movie. It was a thriller. It was good. I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. And then I watched Red Notice. It featured Rock, Ryan, and this one, Gal Gadot. I really loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. It was a feel-good movie. So yeah, you should definitely watch that. So with that, let's move on to the series part. The series, I watched the final season of Never Have I Ever. Like, if you haven't watched Never Have I Ever, Never Have I Ever is about the life of Devi, who is a college student who stays in the US, and it's about how she finds friendships, love and all of that. It's kind of funny, it's kind of serious, it has a lot of emotions portrayed in it, and you just feel like you're watching a fun family and college and school drama. And so that is what Never Have I Ever is about. I loved the fourth season. That was the final season, and especially the dance in the season finale was amazing. The dance with Devi and Kamla. Personally, I love Devi with both Ben and Paxton. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't watched it, but personally I loved her with both of them. With Ethan and Days, I didn't like her that much. Like, I don't know why. I just kind of didn't like her that much with those two. No offense to people who shipped those two couples. So that is what Never Have I Ever is about. It felt like a part of my family, just disappeared. So maybe I'll rewatch them, if at all I'm feeling low sometime. So with that, we're done with Never Have I Ever. If you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. So let's move on to the series that I loved so much. I started it in June and then I finished it in June. 4 seasons, and that was Manifest. For those who don't know, Manifest is about passengers, about 191 passengers who actually board the next flight because their previous flight was overbooked. So part of their family boards the previous flight and these people board the next flight. And so when they board that flight, the flight number is called A28. When they land from Jamaica to on the US soil, they realized that they were assumed dead for the last 5.5 years. So they left Jamaica in 2013 and they landed here in 2018. And their family members also thought that they were dead. But then these people had no idea about it because they just took the flight there and they just landed here in a few hours, and they are just confused as to how the entire thing happened. Of course, they first faced a little turbulence in the plane, but how did this entire thing happen? This series is about figuring life, trying to build their life back, and their families also have kind of moved on without them, and they try to build their life back together. There is more to this. They start receiving something called as callings, which is nothing but their inner voice prompting them to do things. So something like that says save her. So they have this sudden urge to go like save her, but then like who are they going to save? It's like a puzzle that they need to solve mentally. Each and every passenger has that. Some of them know how to deal with it, they eventually figure out, but a lot of them don't know. So it's about helping one another, staying connected, and figuring out the entire the world together. And not just that, to add on to their troubles, there are like a group of people who hate them and who inflict acts of violence against them, and there are also a group of people who think that they are probably divine, and they push them to gunpoint to like save their family and things like that. It's a very good series. It's a must watch personally, my opinion. And especially the ending, I feel the ending was just wholesome and it was very well executed. So the entire series was great, but the ending exceeded my expectations. I wouldn't have wanted it to end in any other way. So of the whole of Manifest, my most favorite character was Zeke. And if you have watched Manifest, do comment below and let me know which character you love the most. Apart from this, I'm working on a small biz of mine. It's called Peach Pebbles. It's an art and decor company where I'll probably just show you one of the products from mine. So these are some of the things that are going to be available at Peach Pebbles. This is my resin art. You can use this as a wall plate. I also have some tabletop resin arts and some resin art coasters and all of that. Here is another resin art here. This is another one. And also I'm planning to get my art printed on notebook covers. So this is just a sample, of course, but then I still have more in the pipeline. So this is my small business update. It is in the pipeline and I'm going to be launching that in July. So with this, we're done with the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you found my inputs valuable. Stay blessed, stay happy, stay kind. Bye.